Top 5 NBA teams in the West right now. Quick honorable mention to the Memphis Grizzlies. They're going to have Ja back. They're going to have Triple J. They drafted Zach Edey, so that's probably going to work out pretty well for them. I don't know how good they're going to be because Ja hasn't played in like 2 years, I feel like. So, I mean, like, who knows if he's going to have the same, like, burst and energy as he did before, but maybe he will. So, I couldn't put them in the top 5, but they're easily an honorable mention. At number 5, we have the Lakers, and LeBron and AD. That's a great duo, but the rest of the team is pretty average. I feel like Rui and D'Lo may have their moments, but not really, not as often as you would like for them to be, because they're really important pieces on the team. But until LeBron retires, I feel like they're always going to be a threat in the West. Like, you never really feel comfortable with them, with going against them in the playoffs. You know, they may not be a top 5 seed, but you know, you're gonna not want to play LeBron in the first round or the second round, or you know, somewhere around there. So I feel like they deserve to be on this list, and they make the top 5. At number 4, we have the Mavericks, and I understand that they just made the finals, but some of these teams in the top 5 got better, while the Mavericks kind of just stayed the same. They lost Derrick Jones Jr., but they got Klay Thompson, which is okay for, you know, 3-and-D guy, I guess. I don't know. They still have Jason Kidd, which sucks for them because he was pretty off on the finals. And, I mean, like, their whole team is pretty good, but they're just inconsistent, I feel like. Like, you have these runs by PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, but in, like, the third and, like, the finals, they do nothing. Like, they're just so inconsistent. They can't make shots. They don't really impact the team as much. So I feel like they're inconsistent, and I feel like that kind of hurts them. So I think that's why they end up at number 4. At number 3, we have the Nuggets, and they lost KCP this offseason, but they got Russ, which is pretty cool, but I don't know how much. I think he's going to make an impact, but I don't know how big that impact will be. And I feel like they just played a little worse than they did when they made the finals. Like, I feel like they were just more consistent. They made less three-pointers. They had more turnovers. They made less shots. So they're getting a little worse while some of these other teams are getting a little bit better. They're understanding the Nuggets, how to play them and stuff. So I feel like they're number 3. They could be higher and lower maybe if you have some other people, but I think they're solidly number 3. They haven't really moved that much, I feel like. At number 2, we have the Wolves, and they didn't really make that many moves this offseason, but they did add Robert Dillingham in the draft, which is pretty cool, but he's more of a future piece, so it's not really going to impact the team right now. But I feel like they're at number 2 because they're just better, or they're going to get better than some of these other teams, like the Lakers or the Mavs or the Nuggets. I feel like those teams might stay the same relatively, or they might get a little bit worse, while I mean, like, Ant is probably going to get better next season, which you couldn't really say for some of these other team superstars like Luka or LeBron or Jokic. So I feel like they're going to get better. The whole team's going to get better. That's why they're at number 2. At number 1, we have the Thunder. And I feel like it was pretty obvious. They had, like, probably the best offseason by any team in the NBA by far. They had a Caruso, they had Hartenstein. They had a pretty good draft pick in the draft, but I don't really remember who it is right now. I mean, like, the team is going to get better, I feel like. I mean, like, J. Dill's probably going to get better. Chet's probably going to get better. Lou Dort might get better. Shea might get better. I feel like their whole team's going to get better. I mean, like, they're probably going to gel more because they're going to have another season together. So, I'm like, it's probably the obvious pick, and I feel like it's the right pick, too. So, that's why they're at number 1. Let me know if I got it right.